is Kock, and I am Director of Africa Operations for TBWA Africa. From a regional point of view, I think it's going to be the fastest growing region outside of Asia, with a continent-wide GDP of about 5.5 to 6%. So it's really good growth happening. There's 1 billion people on the continent. That's a huge market. And I think companies need to stop looking at it as 54 countries and rather a market of 1 billion people and a young population. South Africa is definitely leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of the continent. We've had a much longer tradition of doing advertising. Like I said, much more of a first world infrastructure. But the rest of Africa is catching up really quickly. Kenya's got a very robust advertising industry as well, and they're doing some really nice work there as well. And then you can't ignore Nigeria, population of 150 million people, and enthusiasm and entrepreneurism like I've never seen before. Give them a bit of time, and they'll be running well as well. So from an advertising point of view, it's now the place that we need to start talking to these people via SMS and more basic phones, but also internet applications, all those things. And it's a whole new world for us in terms of that. I mean, out of home, your billboards and your TV are still the biggest advertising mediums, but you're going to see an exponential increase in use of new media. I mean, in the past 10 years, Nigeria went from 200,000 internet users to 43 million, 21,000% increase in 10 years. And the continent as a whole has gone through massive uptake on that. I think the role of smartphones is helping drive internet penetration. And I think there now must be about almost 500 million mobile phones on the continent. So it's really, that is absolutely driving innovation, it's driving brand awareness. I mean, you can't lie to somebody anymore in Lagos and say that this is the best cream for your face, because they can Google it and go and find out exactly what people are saying about those creams. So Africa is using new media to connect with the rest of the world. There won't be like one blanket kind of trend that happens with this. West Africans and Nigerians versus Ghanaians might use it very differently to how the East Africans are using it, to how the Southern Africans are using it. So I think that it definitely plays a role. It allows people to mobilize. In the Zimbabwean elections a few years ago, the disputed one, people were using their phones to take photographs of the election results before they could be manipulated with. So it's definitely playing a role in terms of allowing people to get together, like-minded people. I mean, it's a social network, I suppose. Whether you all like Justin Bieber, or you're all going to go and hit the square, this afternoon and throw stones. I think it allows people to connect. I don't think it's the reason why. I think it just helps facilitate people doing that kind of stuff. Africa has a way of making you feel alive. It's just so energetic and colourful, and the people are just absolutely amazing. And like I say, every time you go there, you just see a new improvement. Something new happening, Africans are what I call, I always get it wrong, late early adopters. Because they get the technology or the infrastructure late. But when they get it, sure, they just run. And they own it, which is fantastic. So yeah, every time driving there's something new, something exciting. But it comes down to the people, down to the passion of the people, which Africa has in abundance. Firstly, we've got a phenomenal creative director in Damon. I think the fact that John works closely here in South Africa as well is fantastic. And I think TBWA's methodology of media arts and disruption really allows us to do stuff that is different to the rest. Not a hell of a lot of TV, outdoor billboards, but stuff that's really meaningful in new media. And I think that's probably been why we've been doing so well. We're seeing the work across the continent improving in leaps and bounds. I think technology and the way that it's been taken up is going to offer us new opportunities to do some really great stuff. I mean, currently across the continent, outside of South Africa, there's a lack of world-class production facilities. So it's going to make them hard to compete with a New York or Los Angeles or Sydney on a TV ad with production capabilities. So while there's great ideas, I think it's still harder to execute them out. So I think new media and media arts kind of thinking will offer the continent huge opportunities to compete on the global stage. We've got more and more multinationals willing to invest. These big deals that have come through, the Walmart deal, Bharti Airtel from India, huge investments coming into this continent, big brands coming into this continent, just means more ad spend and more opportunity. So yeah, I would say it's probably the best market to be working as an advertiser at the moment.